I'm so glad that you got out of whatever Tarkov stint you were in. I swear it was like 3 months straight. Every time I checked.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on that. I was on it for a long time, man. Because I had like goals in that game, right? I wanted to achieve a few things, and man, it was hard. It was hard, but yeah, it was. I'm glad it's over too, to be honest, for a little bit.
It
Take a
was
break.
just, it was just hilarious, man. You're going live tweet every single time was Tarkov. Let's get it, just for 3 months in a row.
Yeah, my Twitter looks the same all the way down the page.
No, it was great. But obviously, we're back for another AT&T Cup. Glad to have you back, and some titles that I'm sure you've dabbled in. If anyone does not know the game list, Fortnite's already passed. We got League of Legends, Street Fighter, and one of your faves in Counter Strike. When you saw the game list this year, what were you feeling?
That League of Legends was going to be a challenge, and the other games were kind of like last year. It was like similar, right? SF6. I know I'm going to struggle. I'm gonna have to put some more practice into that. I almost thought like I wasn't sure if I wanted to put too much practice into League, because last year I put a full prac into Fortnite like for a week. Went into it, got smoked, and I was like, man, that was terrible. So yeah, I know that the Fortnite one's gonna, or sorry, the League of Legends one's gonna be like the pro players running around killing us little newbies. So I was like, all right, I just got to know my role, kind of chill out a little bit. But yeah.
So when it comes across those titles, I got my guess, but obviously with CS2. So of those games, which one you got the most hours in? I got a feeling of your answer, but come on.
Yeah, I have like 7,000 in Counter Strike, I think, right now,
7,000.
right? In CS:GO, yeah, or CS2 now. So yeah, obviously CS2. I'm hoping that I get a good. Last year was kind of tough. I felt like one of the teams had Tarek. They gave Tarek an extra player that knew what they were doing. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, Tarek cheated last year, and that's why he's not here this year. You know, he didn't.
Hey man, Tarek was surprised. I feel like last year he came into this competition, maybe expecting people to dog it up a bit, but you guys did not treat him kindly. He was, I think, towards I would say, dead last place, right?
Yeah, we smoked him. We smoked him. We let him know what was up.
Obviously, you dabble in a variety of games. I've been seeing you play a lot of games. We'll get into in a bit. Outside of the games we're competing in this year around, what's one of those games you got probably the most hours in?
Like outside of the games that we
outside of
have here
these.
that we're playing, might be Tarkov, might be Sea of Thieves, something like that. I think so. Yeah, probably Tarkov or
You
Sea of
got a,
Thieves.
you got a
I would say.
guesstimation on how many hours that is?
I think I have like 3,400 on
I
Tarkov
thought you're gonna. I thought you were gonna
around
drop
there.
34,000 because I just got done talking to one of your
No, no, no.
competitors, Po Belter, and obviously a league ex league pro, and he was like, "Yeah, I got 30,000 hours in League of Legends."
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I,
You're
I asked
lying.
him that question. I was like, "Hey, how many hours you got in the game?" He instantly pulls up his calculator. He goes, "All right, let's say 8 hours a day for the last 10 years."
Oh man, that is insane. And he's still trucking. He's playing.
Yeah,
Oh
so that's one
man.
of your
Okay.
competitors. So,
That's a good time. We know what role he plays.
no, I don't. But I mean, I feel like he can probably flip around on any role with you guys. But again, they
Yeah.
throw these
Okay. That's
formats though. It
true.
could be ARAM's part of it. So
Oh, that's true. They do throw these formats, huh? It might not just be straight up. I was hoping it was gonna be straight up because I heard Hutch is playing top lane and our pro on our team is playing top lane. So if we played them, it would be hilarious to go back and watch his
yeah, I don't
reactions.
want chat. When
Oh,
you look
okay.
at the list though of all of these streamers you're going up against, each and every year it's a pretty loaded list. And this year around, we got some Fortnite pros in there, we got League pros in there. You're always a very strong contender. So is Jake and Bake, Lupo. Of this year's list, was there anyone that you were seeing as a surprise, or anyone you were maybe like, okay, they're going to be some tough competition?
I mean, again, I'm just going to go back to the League of Legends being my most inexperienced game and knowing that the pros are just going to maul right through us. I looked at that like, oh man, this is going to be rough. Double lift, box. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's going to be kind of crazy. So there's like the first thought processes was to look at the league pros. You know what I'm saying? As for everybody else, I know there's going to be some really good SF6 guys. There's going to be some guys that are just untouchable on some certain games, and I'm going to have to just like hold strong if I can. Hope for a good bracket. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I feel like for League though, you've been getting some MOBA practice in. I was very surprised to see. I don't know stemming way back, but I've been seeing you play a lot of Smite lately. I didn't know. Are you a huge fan of that game?
So I've been going through a game route recently, so I've just been dibble dabbling in different communities, and I came across Smite, and I actually really liked it. It was pretty fun. I don't like the laning phase as much as like something like League of Legends or Dota, but it is really good overall fun, and it's a little bit more fluid to my style because it's not like I'm not right clicking around trying to move my screen like
Yeah.
uncomfortably. It's like more my shooting style, right? So yeah, it's been a good time, and League it's been okay. I've been doing a lot of top lane, but then they were like, hey, you're playing jungle, and the only role I've never played. So we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
definitely one of the more or tough ones. But I love Smite. Super excited for Smite too. So seeing you play that, and you always play with great peeps too. So having them calm and help you out in the back is obviously a great learning curve. But Got to help you out in the
Yeah.
MOBAs. That's a fun one. Besides that, though, I've also been seeing you dabble in Halo. I know you've had some back and forth opinions on that as a shooter, but I've been loving you seeing you do these 1v1s. And so I got to ask you, because I've been covering like the
Yeah.
Woodham one was super well timed. You're 1v1 in a mouse and
Yeah.
keyboard pro. You're also, the last one I saw before that was Bound. So I wanted to ask you, when it
Yeah.
comes to 1v1ing pro players, like why is it that you set out to do that? Is it for the content? Do you secretly actually really still love Halo? Or is it like your competitive nature?
Oh man. It's my competitive nature. I don't like losing at anything. When it comes to mouse and keyboard aiming stuff, I always think like I have a certain edge, right? But I'm old. I don't, right? But in my brain, so I'm thinking like, yo, this guy just got top 4 or top 6 at a tournament. Oh, let's get him on for a 1v1. Let's see how good, like what really good is. And he showed us. It was pretty incredible. That guy was solid. He's gonna get really good too, even better. So yeah, Halo is really fun. I always have like a random little stint on Halo. I'll go over there, play with a few pros, and they're super cool. That whole community is really good. So yeah, I love that game. I have a secret love for it too, competitive and the love for it.
I love to hear it. When it comes to the competitive list as well, we already asked you who you may be feared. Do you ever look at this list? And I asked this question, and people tend to have one guy they look out for. Is there someone you think is going to be super competitive, like over the top this year, trying as hard as possible?
If there's anyone that's super over the top, trying as hard as possible,
Maybe doing some strategies that others might not employ.
everybody thinks of one person. I can't even think of a person. Let me think about this for a second. Man, I thought you were going to go down a question where it was going to be like, what person do you think is going to be the funniest to lose or something? And I was definitely going to go with Hutch. Man, the person that's going to
Like
be giving
last
it
year, he
all.
might have been live coached during Street Fighter to give him an edge.
No, wait, who was that? Give me a list of people in this tournament. Who was that? I actually don't even know. He was live coached during a tournament to give him an edge. Hold on, let me think.
He went up against Lyric, so it's not Lyric.
It's not Lyric. Jake and Bake? No, it's not Jake and Bake. He's already good at it, right?
Ding, ding.
No, it was Jake and Bake,
He
really?
employs a coach for each and every week. At least he did last year.
No, he doesn't. I didn't even know that. I just know he's good at fighting games and that he's going to smoke me when we come across that. That's what I know
The
about
thing
Jake.
is, he's insanely good as it is, but like he takes this super, super, super competitively.
Wait, he gets a coach for each game, for
At
each
least
week.
last year, because last year he was going for the 3P, and then him and Lyric were the big two going into Street Fighter, and so they had their huge like best of 5. Went to Game 5, I think, last year.
Did Jake take that? I
barely took
forget.
it, I think.
No way. Oh man, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about him at all. That's actually crazy. Yeah, he stops by the channel. Super cool guy. He's yeah. I didn't know that though. That's funny. I should think about that
Well,
next year.
you and Lyric were the people he feared the most. He was like, hey, if Summit like actually wants to really go into it, like give it his all, he's definitely always going to be a competitor, which is, I think, fair enough.
I'll try to make it more competitive this year with the Street Fighter, because last year was only like a day of practice. This year I'm gonna go a little harder. So we'll see. Because I didn't think I was gonna be even come close, but it was surprising like how much better I did than I thought I would do. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll give it a little more with this year.
Closing questions for you. Kind of a curveball outside of just the competition itself. I know you've been at this for obviously a long, long time. What is one of the more crazy things that streaming has allowed you to do?
The crazy things, man. I sit in my basement every day. Man, and I'm not a crazy person. Let me think. Nothing crazy, bro. I'll be honest. I'm scared of heights. They make me go on top of really tall buildings sometimes. One time I had to go to like the 50th story of a building and I had to come straight back down because I was so scared. I thought when I got to the top, it was going to be fine. You get to the top, it's all glass. So this was for like an H1Z1 tournament like a few years ago. But yeah. I don't really do anything crazy, man. I'm kind of a chill dude and I like to live life safe.
I think that's an equally good answer as it is. I've also been asking everyone this. People have had some interesting answers. I don't know if you have any from back in the day, but when it comes to LAN stories, either as a competitor or as a streamer and creator, have you ever had any wild interactions on LAN, any funny moments that you can recall? And I can give you one if you want some time to think on this, because I feel like you
give me one.
I talked to a CS pro. I think it was freaking Smooya of all peeps, or it might have been Thomas.
No way.
He met a fan on LAN, and the fan wanted to give him an IRL donation out of his wallet. The fan pulls out his wallet.
Yeah.
Smooya or Thomas, I can't remember which one, felt so awkward about it that he pulled out his wallet and was like, "Don't give me money. I'm going to give you money instead."
That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. Oh man, that's like on like a fan interaction. I was thinking like LAN when I was like a kid, doing Counter-Strike LANs and stuff like
Dude, that
that,
works.
and getting into altercations with people. I remember I used to go to this LAN. It was every month, and it was called Into Zone. And we used to do a Counter-Strike thing. And it was just like the owner was like this little dude, but he knew karate. And if anything ever popped off in the back, he would run out and tell them, if anybody wants to fight, you guys would fight me. And he's just a little dude, but nobody would ever step up to him. We had all these big ass Counter-Strike players. Nobody would ever step up to this guy, this owner. But yeah, it was a cool tournament. It used to be have weird little altercations all the time with people when I was a kid. But yeah, that was one of them.
That's a killer one. I think that beats the wallet story. Anyone ever think about going back and challenging him?
Dude, I actually haven't talked to him in a million years. I wonder if he still runs it. I would highly doubt it because LAN centers don't do well nowadays, right? But yeah, I'm sure he's doing well.
Well, that was awesome. So much, had some great answers as always, dude. And thank you again for the time. We'll cut it there. Obviously, best of luck in the competition moving forward, brother. I'll be looking out for you, okay?
All right, man.
All right, take care, dude.
Till next time.